Andy Griffith, Andy Warhol, Andy Capp, who, by the way, is owned by ConAgra. But I want to tell you about Andy Dufresne from The Shawshank Redemption. You see, Andy Dufresne was unrightfully sent to prison, and he spent 18 years chipping away at a wall. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know that he covered up the hole with pictures of the likes of Rita Hayworth, Marilyn Monroe, and eventually Raquel Welch. So, Andy Dufresne. Why are we talking Andy Dufresne? Because what he did was he escaped to freedom by doing something that he was patient and persistent at. Little by little, with a tiny rock hammer, he chipped a hole through the wall big enough to escape to his ultimate freedom. Yeah, he had to go through a sewer line and it was nasty, but he made it. He was determined and he was persistent. That is exactly what I want to do. Hey, what's up? I'm Russ and this is Dapper Dividends. Thank you for making me a part of your investing journey. And you know what we're doing around here is we're not trying to get rich quick. We are trying to invest for the long term, for passive income that is largely predictable and growing, trying to use less emotion and more facts and logic. This is not something that you're going to get rich quick at. So if that's something that you're on board with, click the like button. Consider subscribing if you're helped at any point throughout this video. And as always, I share 3 dividend growth portfolios I'm talking about here on the channel. You can click the links in the description below, and those are at degrin.com. The telecoms have been sinking. Barclays trims the targets for AT&T and Verizon. So to that, I have to say, thank you for this sale, Barclays. But let's not give Barclays all that credit because, as you can see, Verizon has been falling since mid-May of 21, and this week they dropped below the 200-week moving average. This is a weekly chart. Also, my AT&T has been dropping precipitously since as well mid-May. One thing to keep in mind about AT&T is if you are an investor, don't forget that they are merging with Discovery Media and then spinning off Warner Discovery into the new entity. And what that's going to do is that's going to leave about a $20 billion void of revenue from AT&T. So they're basically just right-sizing that dividend. And there are a lot of funds that are dividend aristocrat funds, which means that you have had to been increasing your dividend for at least 25 years, which AT&T had, and they will be losing that status. So many funds will be having to sell AT&T, which I think is a great buying opportunity. And also T-Mobile has been falling since mid-July, and they are approaching their 100-week moving average as well. And as of this recording, Verizon's current price-to-earnings ratio is 10.63, meaning you're paying $10.63 for every $1 of Verizon's earnings, and their 5-year average was at $12.29, so about 13.5% below their 5-year average. We shared this chart here showing the full numbers from 2016 to 2020. So these percentages are all the average from those 5 years. And one thing to be cognizant of is, yes, their revenue has been a little bit flat, but their net earnings and the retained earnings are way up, taking on a little bit of debt. They have been diluting shareholders just a little bit, and the dividends have been increasing. Now, that's not a compound annual growth rate. That is just how much they have paid out in dividends for the full year from 2016 to 2020. It's been an 8.75% increase. And their current payout ratio from the free cash flow, only 48%. Don't get too worried about that negative $5.80 of free cash flow per share. We'll get to that in just a minute. It's really important and exciting. In early May, Verizon sold off Verizon Media, which held the likes of AOL and Yahoo. They sold that to Apollo Funds. So I love that they also, like AT&T, want to focus on the core of their business, which is telecommunications, of which Verizon is the largest wireless carrier in the United States with 121.3 million subscribers subscribers at the end of Q2 21. And this is what I'm really excited about. The C-band spectrum back in February of 2021, they were the top bidder and they committed more than $45 billion. Now that's what they had to pay out to the FCC. So that is why there's such a big discrepancy in the trailing 12-month free cash flow per share. The 5G spectrum is going to bring expanded and faster mobility, broadband, Internet of Things. That's when your dishwasher can communicate with your refrigerator and all the appliances in your house will talk to each other and be online. And then also machine-to-machine communication, which is a little scary. Hello, Skynet. And you see that Verizon does want to rapidly integrate the C-band spectrum for their customers. They want the C-band to be deployed and reach 100 million customers in the next 12 months, 175 plus million customers by the end of 2023, and 250 million customers by 2024 and beyond. So the 5G spectrum cycle has yet to take off. We're still on the launching platform. This is going to be huge, and Verizon is positioned to be the lead dog for years to come. And of course, they also offer their regular suite of products like the iPhone 13, line up the iPad and the iPad mini, and also offering the Motorola Edge 5G ultra-wide smartphone. Just this past September, Verizon increased their dividend for a 15th consecutive year, which I love to see. You know how that gives me the warm and fuzzy to see a commitment, a stated commitment to that dividend. As of today's close at 51.33, that dividend yield is 4.99%, paying out $2.56 annually. Again, 48% payout ratio. Not a huge compound annual growth rate, only 2.11%. Now check that out. This dividend, it says, has been growing for 8 years, but nope. Dividend has been increasing for 15, not for 8. So always, always, always don't just take, that's not proper English, but it's okay. Don't take what you see on the internet always with a grain of salt. It's always up to you to do your ultimate due diligence and fact-checking research. I think this is just a fantastic buying opportunity for Verizon and at&t. Verizon has 70%, more than 70% of their revenue comes from their wireless service, and almost all of their operating income is from that wireless service. So they are just positioned to be one of the, if not the leader in the 5G spectrum for many years to come. They are just such a big blue chip company that you don't really see this that often. So that's why I always say, do not just sell or buy because everybody's selling or buying. Know the game you're playing. And the game we're playing is the long game. Buying and holding for decades, collecting and reinvesting those dividends. And again, just like Andy Dufresne, chipping at that wall, looking for opportunities when we can make progress, when we can tear down that wall, make the hole bigger that will eventually be able to go under Raquel Welch to get to our ultimate financial freedom. But it's going to require persistence, patience, and consistently adding dollar cost averaging in whatever's comfortable for you, whatever you can afford. The way to be wealthy is very simple. Spend less than you earn, save and invest the rest in something that you understand. I understand dividend growth investing, which I'm happy to share this each and every week with you. We're happy to have you on board. Click the like button if you were helped by this, and check out this video right here on 3 stocks. One of is Verizon, Amgen, and Pinnacle West Capital. Check that out. Let me know what you think, and I will see you there.